Hey, I'm Red. Today we're going to be going over 15 things that every player needs to know in Star Citizen. And if you comment, I already knew all of them, I just might give you a gold star. But you're going to have to wait to the end to get to that. Starting us off, you can set your ship to eject as many flares as you want by pressing right Alt H to increase or left Alt H to decrease the amount of flares that eject at once. I usually set mine to 2 to 3, as the last thing you want to do is run out of flares mid-fight. Less smashing the flare button, more smashing the like and subscribe button. Now, I only found out this next one pretty recently. No more dragging items back and forth. Sorting bliss is here. You can quick move items between inventories by shift clicking. I don't know how I just found this out. It works from ships, personal, local, and any other inventory. You can also quick move everything by pressing the move all button, but if you only want to move a couple things and you don't want to drag them across, just shift click them. It's so much easier. Have you ever fought an AI pilot just to have them steal one of your precious MFD screens mid-joust? Every time they talk, it automatically overrides one of your MFDs, taking away vital information while you're fighting. If you set one of your MFD screens to communications, they will automatically use that instead of taking over any of the other ones. This is a lifesaver, especially when versing multiple AI ships, because you can keep all your screens up and make sure you know exactly what's happening. And keep in mind this works for friendly AIs too. They love to talk and interrupt fights to tell you that you're too far away or any other pointless ramble that they like to spew. Now onto armor. It's pretty cool, but it's not all looks, as almost every piece of armor is slightly different. All light armor gives you a 20% damage reduction, barely affects your agility, but has less inventory space and less temperature protection than medium and heavy armor. However, with medium armor you get a 30% damage reduction, slightly more space, slightly better temperature protection, but it does slightly affect your agility. And lastly, heavy armor. This gives you a 40% damage reduction, way more space in your inventory than light and medium armor, and better temperature protection, but it heavily affects your agility, making you a pretty slow boy. This pattern is the same for light, medium, and heavy backpacks. The light ones carry less, the heavy ones carry more, but it does affect your overall agility, but they're all still slightly different in exactly how much they can carry, so make sure you check your gear when you're deciding. This one is such an underused tactic. With no night vision officially in Star Citizen, scanning is your best friend during a storm, at night, or while flying through an asteroid field. Hold and release V to send out a scan of the area. Now you can see everything for 5 to 10 kilometers. From being able to see exactly where the ground is, to different parts of the terrain that you can use to hide behind in different situations, to fighting and flying in asteroid fields where there's just so much debris and tiny asteroids everywhere that you might just not see. It's super helpful for avoiding all of those things and staying alive. This one has saved my ass countless times, not just in PvP, but also just flying. Sometimes it's just really hard to see where the ground is. Time for some pirating / salvage / the landing didn't go to plan info. If you get stuck on foot with no ship, whether it's your fault or not, and see one nearby or you just want to break into someone else's, including AI ones, you can shoot any door or hatch to force them open, both while on foot or from your ship. Ballistic ammo is the best, as otherwise you're gonna have to wait until your energy weapons deplete the shields to 0 and then start doing actual damage. Sometimes it does take a couple magazines, but I believe in you, so keep it up. Being able to see what's in front of you is pretty helpful. So when your visor gets all iced up, all you have to do is press left Alt X to give that bad boy a quick Karate Kid cleaning. It will just keep icing up or getting dirty depending on where you are and what you're doing, so it might be better to get inside, or you're just gonna have to get used to that keybind. Wearing helmets and armor with better thermal protection will also reduce the amount that this happens, so keep that in mind. If you're anything like me, you've found yourself boosting towards the hangar ceiling at Mach 2 because the landing gear is stuck. Acceleration limiter is here to save the day, and my bank account. By holding right Alt and then using the scroll wheel, you can limit how fast or slow your ship accelerates in any direction, making for the smoothest of operations and landings. Just don't put it too slow when you're affected by gravity, because for some reason you just fall out of the sky. Not really sure why that happens, to be honest. Some of the newer ships have not hidden but not obvious storage spaces that can be accessed by all players who open it. This makes sharing out equipment, loot, trades, or just organizing yourself so much easier. No more dropping things on the floor like a primate and just praying that it doesn't ignore the laws of physics and disappear from existence. You can open up these inventories, put your stuff in, and any of your friends can come in and grab what they need. Probably wouldn't put anything too important in this, especially if you don't really trust the people you're running with, but if you're with a pretty good crew, it's better to work together anyway. Isn't it fun when you're running in a group, all trying to figure out exactly who you're supposed to be shooting when there's 5 identical arrows playing tag with each other? Try pressing Alt 1, Alt 2, or Alt 3 while targeting a ship to set a number to that ship that you and your party can see. This makes communicating with your team so much easier whether you're all multi-crewing one big ship or you're in a bunch of fighters. It really helps everyone focus fire on the target we need to be engaging and minimizes all that extra confusion. You can also use this to mark friendlies that might be showing up as red, making it a little bit easier to not kill your friends. If you're new to Star Citizen and want to make an account, do not make the same mistake that I did. Make sure you use a referral code when signing up. You get 5,000 in-game credits for free, and if you buy the game during any sort of special promotions, you can even get a $40 ship for free as well. Now, if you already have an account but haven't bought a game package yet, you might be able to open up a support ticket and ask them to add a referral code to your account, but I wouldn't rely on this. If you want, you can use mine when signing up. It's the one on screen now and it's also in the description. Do not forget to use one. Unless you want your ship going on adventures by itself, every time you land on a planet or a moon, make sure you turn your thrusters and engines off. I know it's counterintuitive, but if the wind or an explosion pushes your ship, it'll try to balance itself out and basically just float away. Once you land, press I to turn the engines off, preventing your ship from getting a mind of its own and flying off. We're all loot goblins at one point or another. We see 1, 2, 10 weapons that we want during a mission, but we can't carry more than 2. If you have a backpack, you can actually take it off, carry it, put 2 weapons on the backpack and 2 more on your back and go from there. You can also move the backpack using a grav tool as you walk. This makes it a little bit quicker and easier to equip a weapon, just in case you have to defend yourself while escaping. This one's a little different as it's actually a website which is used by everyone to look up Star Citizen ships. DPS calculator on Urkel.games. You can check every ship that's in game, look at different component prices or specs, different missile racks, different guns. You can try out a lot of different things and see how much damage that would actually do. You can quickly compare your ships, their loadouts, and see what you need, and then follow the info to find where the parts are in game. It's pretty awesome. Stop running into space without a helmet on. I know it sounds kind of obvious, but we've all done it and panic sprinted back into that airlock. Whether you were having a drink of Cruise Lux or just forgot to put a helmet on, check before exiting by pressing I to open your inventory, or press T to turn on your helmet's flashlight, as all helmets have flashlights and this is a lot quicker than going through your inventory. Lastly, but pretty importantly, test and practice flying ships and different loadouts in Arena Commander before buying them in game. Spending your hard-earned money on a ship or a loadout that you've never actually tried can suck, especially when it turns out it doesn't handle or work exactly as you expected. You can jump into Arena Commander solo and just test things out, or start an endless Vandal Swarm and see just how long you can survive against the aliens. Hopefully something on this list helped you, whether you've been around for years or are just looking to start playing. Remember to share this with a pilot you know that crashes way too often. Thank you for watching.